Everybody ready or set? I'm not getting any feedback in either direction from you guys. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, oh yeah, Listen just pinged people. I should probably wait. Nah, I don't really want to wait. Okay, today we're working in Vital, and we're gonna go through some of my presets, and then we're gonna make a preset, and it's gonna be so fucking good. Um, but you can also download my presets in my Discord for exactly $0 because I'm a big fan of being a nice fella. So when I'm making sounds, I like to just create a little pattern and put one note on the C5 because it's just like my general go-to note. I'm gonna break down just some of the things I like the most. I made this sound yesterday. So it started with a snare, um, and it might not make any sound actually. Okay, it makes no sound by itself. Oh yeah, because this is FMing something. So then I just put it in this, which is FMing something, and it that goes to this. I hope this is not too loud. This might be really loud. That's an annoying sound. Quieter. Okay. So without, it's just like this super low sine, and then just a whole FM chain. Flange comb filter. Key track that bitch, and then key track a phaser that everything's going into, right? Then you turn on a flanger, then you turn on this, and then you turn on this. So then you got this like siren noise, right? Which I think is just really fun to fuck around with because if you have glide on, which I don't right in this setting, but you can turn it all the way up. I think thought I had mod wheel, yeah. Mod wheel's connected to this, so it's not my mod wheel. Basically this goes up. Pretty sick, I think. But you can do a lot with that. So if you turn that into a lead type thing, you can turn it into this little slidey bitch, which is, it goes kind of hard. I also recommend turning your reverb all the way up and then taking the time all the way down, because it'll give you that nice, like, very hollowed out effect, which I just personally think pairs really well. If you want something to be like in your face as a lead, but you still want it to have the same atmosphere that it would if it was way washed out, that's my go-to. It's one of my go-tos, at least. Okay. Do we have questions on this specific one? Because this is like introducing a method that I'm going to use to explain my more metallic sounds. If you have questions, I don't know which chat I should be looking at. Probably voice overflow. Could be louder, never mind. I can turn it up a little bit, but I feel like my others are going to be loud. Um, Key track metal. This one goes crazy. I'm using a lot of randomizers, as you can see, and by a lot I mean 4, which is the maximum for Vital, and I like to have them on sample and hold. Uh, Sample and hold, just like if you press a note, then it picks one random, and then for however like many values there are, so you can move this up from freeze to like 1/2 or which it'll like resample every time you do that. I like to keep them on freeze just so that it's a random thing every time you hit a note, and then that's it. So this by itself sounds like this. I'll shorten this a little bit. So we'll walk through how to make this noise. So right now it is literally just this It is getting FM'd by oscillator 2, but oscillator 2 is currently muted, and it is also randomizing the note and how loud it is. Or no, that's an LFO. So if you introduce this, the level's all the way down, and this isn't actually going to make any noise without this brown noise being active. But now this brown noise, which is being RM'd by this sample, is FMing the second oscillator, which is basically just a recreation of this one. And then it's also having the pitch modulator, or the fucking envelope modulated. So then I run that through this filter, which is randomized, I think, or maybe key tracked. No, it is randomized by a randomizer and an LFO, and it's key tracked. And it's taking everything, and then I run all of that through this like comb filter, which has the cut all the way up, and it is also key tracked. You can't tell that right now because it's not playing more than one note, but you can tell if it is playing more than one note. Then I saturate the bitch out of it, and that's randomized to some degree. Then I take this, and I'm using a 64th stereo delay, and then I have the feedback like way short, but I'm randomizing it a little bit just to have like a little bit of a throw that it's kind of out there, and then I put a compressor on it. So this is really good thing to like make like a layer, like one of the 3 layers in a really fun snare. So if I did like put this out here, and then I take this glide down. And then it'll actually follow the notes closer. I have glide on a lot because it helps get that atonal sound, but if you bring it down, you can use it to actually track like real noises. Now it's going to be like actually tracked to what it's supposed to sound like. Very cool, very easy way to make very fun leads. Highly recommend. And that's how I have a song that I can't show you guys yet, but if you go in my Discord server and you find in the samples Castle 150, I think is what the sample's called. I did that with Dispatch, and then it's like got a automated reverb. Very cool, very epic, very cool, very good. I like it. I'm gonna do. Here's my D&B wobbles shit. This is not my specialty. If you want to listen to the best D&B on the planet, Happy Boy is kind of the best ever, and he's shown me some really cool shit. This is not like my forte. I was just kind of fucking around, but this is a great way to get like textures if you're a texture person. So first I have this LFO that's doing a harmonic stretch for an init wave, and then it's also like LFOing the FM from oscillator 2. Oh, I didn't ask if anybody has questions. Um, Now you're good. My volume was down. Why am I server deafened? I don't know. Do you have an idea of what noise you're making beforehand? I have an idea of what the envelope looks like, and that is about it. Tonally speaking, it no. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I want it to be metallic, so I'll probably do like these general techniques or whatever. Or like I want it to be way distorted. But from a tonal perspective, no. I wish I did. I think that would make me a lot cooler of a sound designer, but I'm usually just fucking around. Okay, this is actually an init wave. It looks like a sine wave, and that's because it's harmonic stretched all the way down. If I take this is also an init wave. These are all init waves. Um, but it is also harmonic stretched, and it has a pulse for this thing, which I think drops down with an LFO, if I had to guess, when triggered, and it's FMing this. And then this is kind of just doing its own thing, I guess. And so this sounds like this. And then this sounds like this. I should probably have it not trigger all of these notes though. So then, I don't actually know if I used either of these filters. I don't think I did. Then you just do this. This is really simple, and it makes it kind of white noisy, so you can EQ to taste, which I highly recommend you do. And if you want to make it even more fun, hang on. Formant filters. See how fun that is? There's so much potential in formant filters. I'll never shut up about them. And I can randomize these values. You can just get any like value or any vowel that humans can make. You can get it out of this. And then for the sake of being a little bit silly, let's run this through a formant filter as well. And I like to just take random values and toss them in there. And then you just kind of you lay them all out and you resample them back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it sounds really funny and really good and really cool if you like, especially if you resample it. So if I was gonna do like this, consolidate, and then I'm a big time stretch guy, and I have no shame in that. I think time stretching is cool and good and awesome. So if I like, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll put some OTT on it. And I'll do depth all the way up. I like to really max out my OTT. This. Run it through another OTT. I'll EQ some of that squealing out. I know this is probably kind of annoying, but there's potential, okay? You have to just trust me on this. Resample that. You could get something really cool, I think. I'm a big fan of just fucking around and or finding out. Let's do laser. Uh, which one do you want? This one or this one? This is ARPS, and then the chip laser. You guys, if I see, can you guys tell me which one you want? I don't know which one to do. Tell me in voice overflow. That's the chat that I'm looking at right now. ARP thingy, chip thingy. Controversial. Controversial. Oh, I forgot there's a chat in this too, isn't there? I'm so. Mm, I don't want to open it. I'm gonna stay. I have to open it. Fuck. How do I open it? Open chat. There we go. Ah, I need to read in this chat. I'm a fool. Too many colors is in here? Hi, too. You're so goated. Listen to Two's latest song, but also a long time ago, maybe even a year ago, they did a collab with Laya. Very good. That's how I found them. Okay, Laser seems to be general consensus. Oh my god, Discord stopped. Uh, I don't know. Laser? I think Laser. ARP. No, it's fucking tied. Okay, we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both. Sorry, guys. Here's how you do this ARP. I'm gonna just try to speedrun both of them. Um, so I'm starting with this. It's just a square wave. I'm pitching this. Then I'm gonna take this and just do a lower version, right? I think that's actually is a really simple sound. And then I'm doing that one octave up. Ah, and okay. I have locked these to these notes. So as they go up, they'll only trigger the first and the whatever. So it makes it sound very like present. And then I'm running them through this, which is exactly what it looks like. I like a 12 dB, but I use 24 a lot more because I'm big about the like preciseness. Don't tell me that it can give me phasing issues. I don't care. That's the multi-band compressor. That makes it bite really hard. So if I stretch it out, oh yeah, nope, this one doesn't do that. It's the chip laser one that does. Very cool, very snappy, and I think it kind of rocks. Personal opinion. Okay, laser, chip laser. This one sounds like this. Did anybody ask any questions? I've got to state, I've got to patrol 2 different chats. No, okay. I said this before most of you got here, but you can turn on your mic and ask a question, and I will not mind. I'll answer it faster, realistically. This one is more complicated. Um, this sounds like, with everything off, this. It's very high pitched. I take that, add this. I think this is doing the same, where it's locked to the octave, so it's just gonna scale the octave really fast. This one's not locked to anything, it's just playing one note. Put together, it sounds like this. I'm putting it through this, and I'm not using it, I guess? I don't know why I have it on. I don't even have these on. Oh, they're macros. Okay. So, macro... Well, maybe. What are you? Such a high feedback. I don't know what I was thinking with that, but it's creative, I guess. Go Kai Aspen. What was I thinking with having that high of a feedback? That's fucked up. Nobody should do that. Don't do that. Okay. Um, well, let's make one. I don't need to save anything. No. Let's make a noise. We're gonna start with triangle waves, because I've been so into triangle waves lately. I cannot lie. This is a triangle wave. I like it to not have the absolutely like speaker breaking click. Do that, and then let's FM it. So I'm going to turn this all the way down. It can still FM if the volume is 0. So if I take this, just experiment. I like that. Let's take in harmonic smear. I love harmonic smears. Let's just find what sounds good. So I think that has potential to be kind of cool. What I would do is then take this, which is stereo, and randomize how present that is. And then I'm going to go sample and hold and drop that to freeze. So now every time it's triggered, it just resamples. But other than that, it doesn't, which I like. I think it's very convenient. And then I'll also actually same randomizer, randomize how far it is on this path. So that's how you're going to get a good randomization. None of that boring randomization bullshit that they teach you in schools these days. I'm going to actually FM from that. Now everything is going through this this one oscillator, which I like. I'm going to pitch it way down. You hear that? That's metallic. It's very metallic. And we did that without any noise layers. Although it is basically a noise layer. It's not a noise layer, which is kind of goated with the sauce, question mark. And then we can also take this and say, smear it. Maybe. We can format it. That might be better. Yeah, let's do that. Another randomizer. We'll do the same thing. Sample and hold, drop to 0. And then we'll do the same thing here with the value of how FM'd it is. and then dial this back so it'll stay in this range. And then let's take this and do what I keep preaching. Low high flange, boost that cut, key track that bitch. Key track that bitch. And then vocoder that bitch. Or not. Yeah, format that bitch. Or what if I did the other way around? So this is oscillator 3. Do both? Do both. Spread. Minimize that. And then you're gonna need a compressor. Something like this. So if you want it to sound loud, you want a low end. But most people like to put a separate sub. I've spent some time on this. I hope nobody's said anything important. Everything you have to say is important. I hope nobody said anything. Yes. Um, could you also talk about your thought process for using these presets in your music? Yes. Yes, I can. But this also includes a bit of artistic philosophy. I recently had, like, don't we all, of course, a creative crisis. I have one about every 2 months, give or take, and they're exactly as fun as everybody thinks they are. I'm gonna turn on I hope my camera's on so you can see me because I'm not hiding anything. This is my artistic state. So I had this creative, like, crisis where I was like, how do I know that I am authentic to myself? And what I found is that I was authentic to what I had made previously. I kept trying to find my sound, and finding your sound is a scam. If you are finding your identity through anything external, like I am not an artist, I am a person who makes art. I am not a musician, I'm a person who makes music. But every day I wake up, I literally do this. I wake up and I consciously evaluate, what do I want to integrate into my identity? And if it's separate, how do I sever that integration? Because you are making less authentic music. This is, for me, my goal is to make authentic music. If you want to make commercially viable music, this is different. If you want to appeal to your fans, like you feel like you have an obligation to them, different. For me, I want to make what is most authentic to what I am in the moment. So Foster from yesterday made a song that is not Foster from today. And so I'll release it, but it will be just, my real name's Foster. I should clarify that for those of you that don't know. Kai Aspen is a stage name. Woodlands is also a stage name and not my legal name. You can call me Foster if you want. Um, Foster from yesterday is a different person. Identity is, there's no such thing as a permanent identity. It's a ship of Theseus type thing. So if you want to make authentic music, you don't tie yourself to any previous music of yours because that's not you, that's somebody else who made a good piece of music. So you can take inspiration from literally anything and it can be your own work, but you are not liable to yourself. So you're telling me that your real name isn't Wood Clipping Lens. Um, yeah, I'm so sorry. Uh, if you're wondering where I get this mindset and all this philosophy shit, uh, I am a bit of a philosophy enthusiast. I'm applying to have a bachelor's in philosophy. I am a pretentious asshole. I drink black coffee and smoke cigarettes and think that I'm better than everybody else. Most of that's not true. I do drink black coffee though, because I'm pretentious and I think I'm better than everybody else. Okay, so given that context, I can tell you how I've done it in the past, how I've incorporated sounds like this into my music in the past, and I can also tell you how I would do it today. But both of those are to be taken inspiration from, not to be copied. And I'm gonna break my rule and show you that one song that I'm not supposed to show you. Because I would love to show how I integrate this shit. Don't pay attention to any of these file names because most of them will never happen. I could give a full, like, church sermon on the philosophy of art because I have so much to say about it. And maybe I do one day, okay? Like, that could happen. Um, oh, you can't see the file names. Good. It'll take a minute for my FL to open this because my computer, it does such a good job. It does everything I ask of it, but I also know what to ask of it. Um, okay, you see this? It's not actually that complicated of a file, but it does sound pretty cool. I don't think this one has any words in it, so I can pretend that I'm still being honest to myself. This is what it sounds like. This is gonna be really loud, actually. Let me turn this down. Okay, you guys feel like you have a taste of that song, that bullshit, that professional top tier quality fucking. Okay, that has a couple sounds in here that I could walk through. One of them is the sound you heard earlier, that lead metallic noise. And I usually have to consolidate my tracks because I just have to. It won't work if I don't. I have to find exactly where that MIDI is. Is that? Where did I put that? I don't think it's this. We'll see. Is it this? Is it? Is it? Yeah. Well, this is one of them. So you can hear I'm using it as a lead and I'm modulating or automating reverb. Let's see what's on that track. That's on 12. So I have reverb and digitalis is basically good Hertz Lossy. I just haven't re-downloaded good Hertz Lossy because I'm so lazy. Uh, but here's a reverb. I'm automating, I think, this. I do not do reverb sends half the time if I don't care enough. And then sometimes I regret not doing a reverb send, so what I'll do is just take whatever's actually ported to this and I'll put it somewhere else, and then I'll port it and whatever else I want to send to that specific reverb to this. Um, if you don't use reverb sends, you're not worse of a producer. If you understand why somebody does something professionally and then you don't do it, you're still professional. You're just doing something differently. If you don't understand something, learn it, but you don't have to do something because professionals do it. Reverb sends are a little bit overhyped. Same for delay sends. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Okay, bass. That's what's holding this together. A lot of my stuff is very bass motivated. This is called, wow, okay, that's a lot going on there. And it is a lot. So I think I sidechain everything manually. I've talked about this here before. So that's one of the sounds. It's not all of them though. Where's my sub bass? Oh, I put it over here. Where did I put it over here? There it is. Okay, so this is my top end layer. You can find that file in my Discord, but what you need to know is I think I'm running it through isotope trash. I always do. Isotope trash, and then any of these settings work. I really like heavy coughing metals. I really like, where is it? It's an aggressive, there's an electric guitar. It's electric, LaFat, Icy Scoop, um, Synth Salts, and that might be it. Those are my big ones that I use very frequently. And then just fuck around with the file from there. And then I have this, which is an init preset, which means I really need to save it. Sleepy bass. This is more the meat of the bass, which means it's probably filtered. Yeah, I have a post filter on it. I like to do my high end and then my mids, And my mids, I do mids and lows at the same time. I'm a bad person and a bad producer, so what I do for my bass is I'll port it to one thing, and I'll have more high end or like dirt, and then I'm also sending it over here. And I
A
have
question.
Denise Bass Excel. Yes.
Why is it called mid if the sound is actually peak?
Because I'm not good with linguistics. I can't help you. Who does linguistics? Blissom does linguistics. Ask Blissom. No, it's just the middle frequencies, which for me are like mid lows. I'm not real about it. I like to solo. So Denise Bass XL gives you sub bass on any sound you put into it. I just hit my computer with my tequila. Um, so it's really beneficial for like just adding a little bit of substance to things. I don't use it for that because I have to use things wrong. I put my frequency way down here at 40 hertz and then I solo it. So like if it doesn't have, this is running to this over here, but if it's just running here, no, turn off just the sub bass. And then I have this up here. And so I'll do that and then I'll send everything over here and this is my send track for fucking sidechaining. And then with this, it's breaking as you can hear. Uh, where's my other bass? So that's how I did those basses together, and that paired with that. Is that this sound? Maybe. We can't tell. Is that a cutoff on it? Fuck. What? What? Ah. I have too many automations. I can't tell what sound that is. We will never know. Where? What are you going to? You're going straight out. Why is this? Oh. Man, I look like a fool now, don't I? Oh, that's a you can take ambience and chop it up and it'll make you sound very staggered. I love that. Um, that's not what I meant to show you though. Where did I put that noise? Is that you? Maybe. Maybe. I did the same thing again. I am not. I promise I know more of what I'm doing than I look like. No, actually this started as a remix. I start so many things as a remix. Now you guys get to know what I started as a remix for this. Um,
I'm in the neck, I bite down. I need
you
the
can be
energy
like
like
right
right now.
now.
I know he don't bite, but he bark loud.
That
That
boy
boy
Cap
cap,
he
he
kung
kung
lao.
lao.
Um, that is what's that called? Fucking. It's by Gal the Arsonist and fuck and not Nevi. What's it called? Listening to it on its own. Gal the Arsonist is one of my favorites right now. Not Nevi is not one of my favorites, but whenever he works with Gal, so good. If you're listening to Gal the Arsonist, I think it's called Gunslinger is my favorite song by him. Caesar is also really good. I think being exposed to Daria Core and the extreme sides of production first and then backing down. Yeah, I think a lot of the like best producers I know started as Daria Core producers and very significantly are no longer Daria Core producers. And that's no hate to Daria Core producers. I think they're but like look at uh Zave, look at our dear Sticky Notes friend. Look at Mope Around. Look at fucking Static, which I don't know if you guys know who Static is, but they're one of those like no name accounts. But I'll put a link in it. Hang on. You know how there's that like thing that was really popular in Darkcore for a minute where they would have like the accounts that don't actually show a name on the things and then they'd name their songs after like nothing. Really hope. Yeah, Darkcore is hard to make for sure. I'm not saying Darkcore is hard like easy to make, but it is influenced directly by other people. You cannot make Daria Core authentically. It that doesn't it's paradoxical. Listen to this song if you want to find or listen to this artist if you want to find some of the best Daria Core ever, in my opinion. But like they don't even do Daria Core anymore. They kind of just do whatever. They're also so secretive, um, but like absolutely skilled beyond what's necessary. But like look at a lot of artists that started They didn't start with Dariocore. Nobody starts with Dariocore, but they started like with their popularity. I wish that was my alt. Man, that would be so cool. There's a hack to it. I don't know what it is. Yeah, if static was my alt, I would. Mm, I'd be doing better than I am right now. We'd all be doing better if we were static. Empty Unicode characters. Thank you, Hobby Boy. Um, but like Dariocore, I think making Dariocore is one of the best steps you can make in music, and then stepping away from that, finding what about that you liked, and then how to replicate it in your own thing is also one of the best things you can do. It's like technically started as Dariocore. A lot of people said that's not real Dariocore, and to that I say that's like I don't care. I guess that's what I say. To that I say, yeah. Yeah. But at least I would say I was making Dariocore, and then I stepped away from it. There it is, that sound. So that's the sound I showed you guys how to make earlier. And so combined all together, and then I have like this little section over here because I have to show you guys everything I'm obligated to. I don't think I'm doing anything crazy here. I make my own drum loops and then just use them. I just paste them places. Oh, and then I ran, what did I do for this? Oh, fuck. I think I ran the entire track intro through EFX fragments, which I don't have on here anymore because it eats so much stuff. But that's Artoria's answer to, fucking, what's the output granular thing? Yeah, I use my own samples 24/7, and I keep saying I'll sell a pack, but every time I make a sample, I end up posting it on my Discord, which is like 5 a day. Anybody in my Discord can attest. I make and post so many samples. If you make your own sample pack, you will instantly become a better musician or at least producer, just because you don't have to. It's a different thought process when you use something that you made forever ago or even a day ago. I love it. Absolutely love it. That's how some of these can work together. Also, check out this ambience. Julian's Skinner request. I have this friend who is 16, and he asked me to be the legal adult for his Cash App account. I said, okay. Like, these are samples that I made a long time ago. What are you ported to? 20. Like, those are just Kai samples from a bit ago. I sample myself pretty much literally every song I ever make, I sample myself in. Because before I was Woodlands, I was Toad Kids. You can find half the sample pack I'm going to be making. I really recommend. How do you make a sound like this, Earth Training? I wish I totally could tell you. I don't really know. I know I was using OTT and time stretching for like the sludge one. This one. I don't remember what else I was using. Um, I think this obvious probably had like a vocoder in it. But I wish I could. Basically, if you want something to sound earth churning, I can give you a good answer. Sub bass, chopped the bitch up. I can give you an example too. I mean, new project, new project, new project. Save changes, no. Anyway, that's a song I'll drop when I have finished the vocals on it. Whoever recorded that, don't post it. I mean, you can post like the recording, but you have to cut that video, that song out. Here's this. The noise, I think, is a sub bass. Yeah. So this is like I was pretty much experimenting with how loud I can make something seem. You may notice this is not even clipping. But what's happening is I have this white noise that's being fed in with this. Hang on. This is just a sine wave. It's going through a soft clipper that's just saturating it a bit, and then a multiband compressor. This is RM'd from the sine wave. Just adds more grit and it makes it choppy. And the reason choppy is important is because if a sound is sustained, your ears will get used to it. There's a Mr. Bill video on this, and it's like 36 minutes long, but I can give you the rundown. Louder comes across, or like lower comes across as quieter. Longer comes across as quieter. So that's why I add that little high pitched, because now that sounds broken. And then I add white noise just to make it even choppier. If you want something to sound choppy, make it inconsistent, or want something to sound loud, inconsistent, and low. And you put this below anything, and that will come across as super, super low. So like, even if I just take one of the Kai kicks, where's a Kai kick? Here's a Kai kick, and I'll take this, consolidate from track start, and you'll be able to hear a huge difference in how like earth rumbly that comes across. So go from this. I hope you can hear a very present difference. Um, yeah, I always put either a super high pitched sine, saw, or square on it, and I have been a square wave gentleman for the longest time. I love square waves. But if you can hear the difference, it's because there's a huge one. I really recommend doing that if you want something to seem loud. That's what every like major label dubstep artist does. And I thought it was kind of overhyped for a long time. If you listen to any of my old Woodland stuff, I didn't have sub bass in it because I didn't know. But now I know. I'll do one more because I thought this was cool and I just want to show people like some stuff I was fucking around with in I was listening to Look But Don't Touch by Polyphia, which is such a good song. It's just so filthy. If you play Square Waves, you should play it. I will not. I don't want to play anything uh, woodwind. Sorry. I'm so scared of woodwind instruments. Except fucking saxophone. That's so cool. I love saxophone. Don't drink if you're under 21. Listen to this. I've got to turn this. I'm so glad I keep remembering to turn this down. This is my bass. No, you don't have to cut this one. Every time I have a metallic snare, like every time I've ever shown something to Hobby Boy with a metallic snare in it, I just get that snare. This is another good example of that production sauce, though. That's kind of metallic. It's not a very complicated. Well, never mind. It's a barely complicated lead. Very sauced up though. Very poorly mixed. That bass sounds like ass, and I don't know if I really like that. Those chords. I don't know. It's not that bad, I guess, but it's a little bit bad. A string sample is crazy. Thank you. Um, it is labs. They are transphobic and I hate them, but I don't have a better string section. and then I overlaid this. It's literally just all the MIDI from the bass, chords, and lead compiled into one thing. I can actually show you. It's strings short in Spitfire Labs. Buck Spitfire, but the strings are really good. Okay, cool. Does anybody have questions? That's very good, Vic. Nerd sound thing that's so literally irrelevant, but I learned that square waves aren't actually able to be reproduced like by speakers. Uh, yeah, that's why sometimes people will vocode square waves to look like barely rounded. Hang on. Like if I take this and I go, I think this vocode, yeah, you can like barely round them. This is a bad example, but you can like round the edges just slightly, and it makes them sound a lot less blanc.
I have a
Does that make
question.
sense? Yes.
How many holes does a straw have?
How many what? A straw?
Yeah, how many holes does a straw have?
I don't understand. How many horses does a straw have?
Holes.
Holds?
Like holes. HOLES.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking like holes as like the entirety of something. Um, Arguably one. I think it depends. You want me to do this in a philosophy sense? Because I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. Here's the thing.
Okay, sure, bet.
There are two ways to view a straw that will give you two different answers. Number one, if you view a straw as volume, specifically not surface area, but like just mass volume as a singular object. If you think a straw is real, a straw has two holes. If you think a straw is a sum of its parts, the straw has one hole. That's actually all there is to it. It's way simpler than I was gonna say. Um, Thank you for attending uh, Dawn of Apples, Downton Abbey, Downton Abbey. Let me wave at you as well. Um, oh wow, they left like 18 minutes ago. My bad. I thought they just posted that. I'm about to go. Do chairs exist? No. Is water wet if it's more than one molecule? Cool. Yes, it is wet. It is just being wet is being in contact with water. Water can be in contact with water. What's your trolley problem solution? Um, it's complicated, but I'm a big fan of when in positions like that. And no other time do I like utilitarian ethics, but when in positions like that, I would say go utilitarian, kill one person instead of letting five die without, because I will deal with that moral
Yeah, I have a
punishment.
question. Like literally, what's the question? Is there something complicated about would you rather have one person die or five people die? Is there something complicated about that?
Yeah, there is, and it has to do with morality and the sense of like you are not responsible if five people die, is the thing.
I
Are you willing
mean,
to accept the responsibility of death?
I mean, like it depends because if you have a chance to save someone, then you're responsible if you don't save them. Like,
Yeah, and Kant would agree with you. Kantian ethics kind of incorporate that into it, and I agree with that, despite him being incredibly against utilitarian ethics. I'm with you. I follow that line of thinking. A lot of people do not, and it's kind of understandable because you have to answer to that one person's family. Like, you didn't just let them die; you did actively kill them. So there is a thing there. Okay. Does more questions? It can be whatever. How would the law handle a real life trolley situation? I think honestly it would be manslaughter.
I mean, like it also like depends on the country because like some countries have laws where you're like
Yeah.
supposed to help people.
Yeah, that's true. I think oh, you're right. I think it would be honestly it'd probably be second degree murder either way, but I think you would get like an excuse, like a pardon somehow. Because I think that would be a very big thing on like a international news scale. But I think you technically could be charged with either second or third degree manslaughter, depending on which one you pick. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm not at all a lawyer. I don't know the. I very frequently advocate against the law, so take that with a very large shaker of salt. All right, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Save changes, no. You should. I love doing sleepy universities. But thank you guys for attending. I love talking to you guys. It really makes I like environments where you're not above people, like when it's just like sharing with a group of friends. That's my favorite shit. I gave a class once where it was like actually, um, like, oh, you're teaching and we're the students, and I love when this is not that. Thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. I cannot
Anyone
wait
want to play
to.
poker?
I can play poker. How
Uh,
do I play poker? How do I join?
there's an option VC somewhere.
I can't find it.
If you
I
click
can,
on university